MTV heads. We grew up
The nostalgia.
watching MTV, and me myself, I have watching her on Road Rules. I'm just so excited. Let's not just prolong it anymore. Let's bring on a special guest from MTV's Road Rules The Quest and the Challenge Battle of the Sexes and the most recent challenge All Stars 2 on Paramount Plus. Sophia Pasquis is here. Welcome to the
Hey,
show.
Hi.
hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. My ladies look huge up in here. Sorry.
Girl, mine too. And mine's I can't hide them. I really
For
can't.
real, they're like a tray. Let me sit up.
Woo! Welcome to the Lady Club. How are you?
Lady
Welcome
Club.
to the show. How are you doing today?
God, I'm doing pretty good, I'm keeping warm. It's been freezing around here, so I'm glad that it's not too bad today.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
and
snow
and
tonight.
we're gonna get some snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't mind the snow because it doesn't technically have to be cold for snow, but
True.
yeah, I heard it's gonna snow and then it's gonna rain, like typical New York winter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Sophia, so for the people who, I mean, if they're living under a rock or they're Gen Z, no haters
Yeah,
on Gen Z,
true.
much love to our Gen Z, but unless they're Gen Z and don't know who you are, like I said, you got your start on MTV's Road Rules The Quest.
Yes.
Let's go back. That's basically 2001. I was
Yeah.
14, sophomore. And for
I
me,
was
as I told
12.
you, no, as I
Oh
told
my.
you when I know, right? When I told you when I reached out to you, actually we could get more into that in a little bit. But you was on MTV's Road Rules The Quest, and that was the year that MTV decided to do like this mashup with Real World, where it was like
Yeah.
guys, everyone. It was like a big casting thing of a certain amount of people, and
Yeah.
you guys didn't know where each will land. So walk us through that. Walk us
No.
through how you landed, or like what made you decide to go for the road rules. Tell the people.
Tell you my origin story. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The basics of it is that I had graduated college in 2000 and I had gone back home. So I had just recently started coming out in school, but not back home. And so after I graduated, I was like trying to do anything I can to get out the house because I felt awkward, not like being my full self.
Mhm.
And so I was working on a film crew, like an independent film crew, because I thought I wanted to be a PA. And this guy Dexter was like, "Hey, they're having open calls for Road Rules and Real World in Boston." And I'm like, "Well, I've never been to Boston, and I could go check out my friends from school because my college was along the way." So I made a trip of it. Stopped off at my college, saw my friends, went to try. Oh, I remember this. I went stopped by the college to see my friends because Jill Scott's album just dropped, her first album, and I
Love
wanted to pick up
her.
that CD. I wanted to pick up that CD so I could listen to it on my road trip. So I picked up her and this girl named Doria Roberts, and I was reading this book, Black Boy by Richard Wright. So I was set. So I drove up to Boston, and it was at Fenway Park. So I got to Fenway Park, and I'm like, "Oh, there's no line. Nobody must have known about it." Because I graduated college, I get there a day early. I messed up the dates, so I ended up having to park and sleep in my car, and then go to open casting call the next day. So I was like, "All
Oh
right."
wow.
Now
So
I
yeah,
hope this was summertime.
this was in
Spring.
the fall. It was like September,
All right, not
September,
too bad.
October.
Not
So
too
then
bad.
when I went there, I kept advancing. I didn't expect to advance. I had no intention of it, but somehow I just kept going. And then I ended up on the casting special. So at the end of the casting special, they only chose 13 people and didn't tell you what show you were going to be on until the day they picked you up to go to the airport. So that happened. They picked us up in end of December. A black car came to pick us up. We got to the airport. Some person that you've never seen before with a camera opens up the doors like, "Congratulations, you're on Road Rules and you're going to Morocco." So I'm like, "All right."
Wow.
So yeah. Oh, prior to picking us up though, the way they did it was that they sent us a set of luggage, and then they sent us one of those hikers backpack with your names on it.
Mhm.
So you're supposed to pack like you're going on Road Rules, but have 2 bags ready just in case you made it on Real World, so they could ship it to the house. So when I got there and I found out I was going to Morocco, I was so relieved because I didn't want to do Real World because it was back in New York. I'm like, why do I want to live exactly where I'm from? That's awful. So,
There you go.
but
Thank you for answering the question because I would be like, if you had your choice, which one would it have been, Real World or Road Rules?
nah, man,
But there you go, Road Rules.
by far Road Rules. But it would have been fun being in my 20s, living in Chelsea, and just having a good old time.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to tell you the stories that had came out of there.
Your Road Rules cast had a lot of a lot of you guys went on to do the challenges. Adam, Blair,
Yeah.
even if it was one challenge, a lot of you got plucked for it. Like your whole
Yeah.
cast. So like I like to see I call that like a all-star cast where it's like not a lot of cast members, whether Real World or Road Rules, got to do it. It was only select few. So to see your whole cast at one point or another do these challenges afterwards is pretty dope. I consider that an all-star cast because each one of you went out to do that. Now after Road Rules, you did Battle of the Sexes 2.
2. Mm-hmm.
And you made it to the finals. You made it to the finals. Congrats.
I'm
How
telling
was that
you.
experience?
Well, I knew at the time that that might be my only challenge I'll ever get asked for, because I mean, compared to everybody who was on reality at that time, I wasn't that interesting or caused so much drama. I knew my place. So when I finally got on this challenge, I'm like, if I don't make it to the end, this might be it. So I worked out and I was like, I'm going to win this. I just visualized it every day that I'm going to make it to the end. And I'm going to win. I'm going to make it to the end and I'm going to win. And so sure enough, I made it to the end. And actually what helped me was that, so Coral and Arissa were like the people to decide my fate at the end of it, because it was between me and Tina to go to the finals. And what people didn't realize is that Coral and I, we had a decent relationship based because of the casting special, because me and her were in the same room together. And she was just Cora's one of those people who's very smart and is a really good heart and very caring, if she allows you to be on that side of her. But she would never attack you if it wasn't called for. It's not unprovoked.
I love her. She's like my spirit animal.
I would love to see her again on All Stars as well. Like I love Cora as well.
She's a funny lady. I haven't seen her in ages, but gosh, did I just lose my topic? What were you talking about? The challenge? Oh, how was it when I won on the challenge?
Yeah.
So I was super hyped. I was super hyped, and when I found out the challenge, because that whole challenge, I wanted to do some crazy stuff, but the things that they gave us wasn't, too challenging, and I was kind of turned down by it. I was like, but when I had found out I had to jump out of an airplane and compete a course, I was like, this is what it's about. I was scared out of my mind. I never wanted to jump out of a plane, but you know what? If I have to do it, I have to do it. It's surprising what you would do when you have other people watching you, man. Cause it's like you just don't think, you just do. Because the minute you think you're done, son, you're done.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get into All Stars 2 a little later. You made your return after taking off many years off. Because, like we said, Battle of the Sexes 2 was the last time we seen you. Now, going back to something I wanted to say at the beginning, and you yourself brought up, you came out on TV. You didn't even come out to your family. You came out on TV first. And like I told you when I DM'd you and it was talking to you, you were one of those figures. And to be honest, back then for me as a millennial, being 13, 14 at the time, coming into my own, knowing I was gay, but keeping that inside. Seeing figures like you, and yes, we had De Pedro and San Fran. We had Pedro before, and we had other, LGBTQ members, from other things, but not as much. And again, for me, being a millennial 13, 14, and then seeing the likes of you on TV, and then the season after, Shane. So to see more of that representation, especially in more of a roughneck, road rules type of thing, was an inspiration for me. It was really inspirational, and to see that. So I want to say thank you, because